Hello, welcome to my Phantom trailer analysis, where I'm going to be taking you through my thoughts and ideas when creating the trailer. So sit back, relax, and let's get started by showing you the first part of the trailer.
Yeah, Mum, I'm lost. I'm in this really weird house.
I start off by using the green band screen. This is used by most trailers and makes mine seem a little bit more professional and realistic. Here we see a boy approaching an eerie looking house. The fact that the boy is lost and talking to his mother shows his vulnerability, as he is unable to solve his situation, so he's seeking help from his mother, showing his dependency. This makes him a character that can instantly be understood by the audience and possibly even empathised with. This first character is used alongside the eerie music to help the viewer enter the world, showing that they themselves could easily be as vulnerable. Next is a shaky approaching shot to show the boy's point of view when walking towards the house, the main setting of the film and home to the antagonist. This helps set the scene for the audience. The clip is digitally altered, like most scenes in the trailer, to be darker and evoke the fear of the unknown to the audience. In the next shot, the boy is shown dropping his phone in shock and then dead on the floor with blood dripping down his face. I increased the contrast for this shot to emphasize the blood and included the first sound climax of the trailer to make what just happened much more dramatic. This scene shows the audience that the place is unsafe and makes them subconsciously think of evil and death whenever they see the creepy house. We're now going to watch the next scene and then analyse it afterwards, as there's quite a few interesting points to point out.
Mate, did you hear about that person who died in the woods the other day?
No, what happened?
Apparently they were murdered, and it's like, got to say, the website and everything.
Okay, first off we see a company logo I created. I made this logo using a variety of transparent moving images overlaid on each other. I used a solitary tree and dark red and black colours. These go with the colour scheme of the trailer, which is red and black like a blood moon at night. The tree going with the woody-like setting of the rest of the trailer. Here we hear school students talking about a murder in the woods. This scene is important for a number of reasons. The scene introduces Alex, our main protagonist, who is shown to be interested in what the other students are talking about, by looking over his shoulder and browsing the website they mentioned. This helps show him as shy yet curious, making him a character that is relatable to the audience. Shy and curious protagonists are often used by horror films to create a relatable character to the audience. This helps my trailer follow conventions. I included some footage of walking through a narrow, claustrophobic, dark path. This helps the trailer to flow, as well as making the audience relate what the students are talking about to be malicious and unknown. Admittedly, the audio quality of the trailer isn't great. I tried to enhance it, however, to make it seem more eligible to the audience by changing pitches and volumes. I'm now going to show you the next 30 seconds or so of the trailer, and then I can analyse afterwards.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. Okay, I see that. I don't recognise it.
Guys, this is fucked up.
Oh, I don't have my phone.
Every single time. Let me check mine. Shit, no signal.
I have included more of the dark path footage. This helps to vary the shots and keep the dark atmosphere going for the trailer. A school on High Street are shown in the trailer. This can be used to represent the equilibrium of the story, a place where characters can hope to return to if things go wrong. This goes with conventions that are normally shown in horror trailers, so... Here we see a conversation between the main protagonist, Alex, and his two friends. This is shot using an over-the-shoulder angle and is changing sides, yet not breaking the 180-degree rule. The intention of this scene was to introduce and build upon the trio's characters for the audiences to start to relate with them, so that they might start caring about them later on. This is because when they are put into danger, it will have a bigger effect on the audience, making the trailer seem scarier and more risky. The character in the middle could be perceived as an impatient jerk, which is a character often included in horror films. This helps to follow conventions set by other horror films.
No signal.
Once again, we hear another music climax. This helps to build up pressure and foreshadows what will happen to the characters later on, as more and more things go wrong. I'm now going to show some more of the trailer until we meet the main antagonist, the Phantom.
Whoa.
Alright. Website was right.
We now see the trio approaching the house shown at the start of the trailer, the one that the boy died at. Here I have used heartbeats in the background of the trailer. Heartbeats are often used in horror films as an easy way to build up stress for the audience. I thought that the result was quite effective at building up tension. I used over-the-shoulder shots once again to try and show the event from the character's perspective. This is effective when trying to get the audience to relate to the character and fear for them. I ended the music with a single piano note that I recorded to silence. This then allowed me to use the jumps. I had the Phantom appearing behind the main protagonist Alex, as this is where people usually feel most vulnerable, as they cannot see behind them. Here I also added a loud scream as an initiator for the jump scare. Close shots were used for this scene, as it allows the audience to feel as though they could easily be in the protagonist's shoes, increasing the realism and scare factor. I also used a red hue when the antagonist attacks. This follows the colour scheme of the rest of the trailer and relates to blood and danger, subconsciously in the audience's mind. I'm now going to show you some more parts of the trailer of the characters running away and Ming unfortunately dying. And afterwards I can go through it and analyse it like I have done the rest of the trailer so far. Here we hear an inhuman scream, representing the Phantom chasing the protagonist and his friends. This scream slowly builds in pace to increase the fear factor for the audience. I also sped up the pace of the editing to go along with the characters running away and to increase the action of the scene. I felt at this point that the trailer was audibly lacking, so I decided to introduce the sound of a large bell. I thought this sound created variation from the rest of the trailer, and also gave it a spooky and powerful feeling whenever heard. Once again, the music is building up to create tension. This is often done in horror films and would be considered a norm, meeting horror conventions. We see that the characters have split, and Ming is now on his own, with the Phantom closing in. Once again, the camera is shown behind his shoulders as though the audience is really in his shoes and is experiencing what he is experiencing. I like this shot especially as it shows the Phantom, once again, surprising a character from behind. The contrast between the dark clothes of Ming and the white, ghost-like appearance of the Phantom makes it obvious to the audience that they are on opposing sides. However, the white colour of the Phantom breaks conventions, as white is normally perceived as present peace and aid, yet in this instance it stands out from the surroundings and represents dread and death. I have included several story-building titles or texts shown throughout the trailer. Their colour scheme sticks to Blood Moon at night theme, and the font colour has a contrast with white to be read easily. The font and size of the text is the same in all three narrative titles throughout the trailer. Once again, I have shown more inhuman screams and faster editing to show that the characters are being chased and that they are hurrying. I'm now going to show you the remainder of the trailer and then go through it bit by bit, explaining why and what I've done in certain areas. Here we move on to the last scene of the trailer. It shows once again the protagonist from a close over-the-shoulder point of view. And once again we have the heartbeats creating tension. as is a norm in most horror. This last scene is supposed to show the main protagonist is on his own now after going through a massive journey that the viewer will obviously see when they go and see the film in the cinema. It shows his vulnerability as well as his initiative in trying to defend himself with the hammer you can see in his right hand. However, will this be enough? I have used shots from multiple angles to show that he is alone and that there is nobody following him. And it also helps to show his vulnerability in the same scene. And then here we have the climax, the jump scare at the end of the trailer, showing the Phantom in full. I recorded this running at the actress, but to decrease its fluidity and make it seem scarier and different from the rest of the trailer, I decided to edit the clip by cutting frames out. I also added a scream and a boom sound effect to increase the impact and dramaticness of the film. Finally, I've shown the title of the film, as well as the release date, in front of some nice modified footage of moon that I shot in Wales. I put a red tint on the footage to match the blood moon at night colour scheme that I've mentioned before, and to also represent danger and blood as well. We see the film logo as the same logo used on the magazine front cover and poster. This ensures that the audience will remember the name of the film after seeing the trailer, and the poster and the rest of the film's promotional material. Lastly, the release date is shown. This is in the same thin, frail font and bright colour to keep continuity and fluidity as well as to contrast the dark background. All in all, I am very happy with how the trailer is structured and evolves, and I think it does a nice job of advertising the film. Thank you for viewing my trailer analysis of Phantom. I hoped I managed to get through just about everything without boring you. I look forward to seeing you in the cinema when watching the film.